Voicemail identification.
Let's go.
I hope the bot reconnects because it was on earlier and I didn't close it or anything. So hopefully it kicks back in. Hello, everybody. Oh, from Virginia, 80s tomorrow. Well, it must be nice.
It is. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't too bad today. I think it got up to 65. Not too bad. Not too bad.
No.
Oh, I was just thinking I need to go out in the garage and get some more pots for growing some other stuff. Because usually I have them in the house, and then from the house they end up in the garage because I plant them out in the garden and whatnot, and then leave them out there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna actually have to go into the garage. Have to see the poor boat sitting over there waiting on me. I may have to restart the thing. We'll give it a little bit because that's how I'm going to run my comment picker is through my bot. So other than that, I just have for the members, the magical wheel for the giveaway. So let me bring that up. Yeah, right there it is. The fancy wheel. There we go. Peekaboo, you got to see it.
There you go.
77. Oof. Yeah, it was sprinkling here and there, rained a little bit, but wasn't that much. It was 65, good weather, but at least the heat didn't come on as much.
No. That'll be coming on down here soon.
Yeah. And you're in the 80s down there?
Yeah. Yeah. Dana 86, not happy. I don't think I'm feeling the weather as much as I normally do because my taste and smell are jacked up from my whatever it is I caught.
Yeah. So, oh, there it comes. There's the bot.
Hey, Grace. Thank you, dear. Even though I don't sound like me, it's still me.
Well, yeah,
looks like Beat's having trouble hearing.
At least you're up here, and who is?
B wants you to turn your volume up.
My volume? It's usually. Let me see what it says on here. Testing. Oops, there we go. I'm pushing plus 30 decibels. Should be fine.
Yeah, Grace, I saw Trump on the it was some podcast. He was answering questions, and I mean, we saw him today live, and he was fine. But on the podcast, just his voice, he sounded worn out and like, well, he sounds like me. But was much better today.
Hey, Jan, good to see you. Did you get your list of songs? you know, you got to add some of the Vineyard Chicks songs in that too. They were going through some old songs to add to a playlist.
Cool.
Yeah, anything in the 80s works.
Is this for your?
No, that was on her live. She goes live right before me that I go. She goes from, well, they're a little bit, their time is different, but for East Coast, it's Jan from, or I mean, Gail from 6 to 7, and then uh, Jan from 7 to 8, and then I go. So
Mm.
many songs. Yep.
Well, Jan, don't forget some My Way by Francis Albert from Hoboken. Right, Grace?
Um, I was, and I'm still thinking about doing the video, but I was doing a little research for whatever odd reason I do these things. I started with Reese cups, um, and these are the was the ingredients in the 80s. I don't know if in the 70s they had different ingredients and so forth and so forth, but in the 80s it was like 5 things were in a Reese cup. Um, Milk chocolate, um, cocoa oil, um, peanuts, and salt, and something else. Um, that was it. That was for a Reese cup. You look at the ingredients now, it's like, what is all that stuff?
That's called a chemical cup.
Yeah, and and then I said, well, let's look up something else, and I said Cheerios, and I went and got ingredients in the 80s for Cheerios.
Wow.
3 ingredients: oats and something else and something else. And now it's like a long list. And on top, and at the very bottom of the long list, it's bioengineer ingredients. And I'm like, okay, what else can I find? I kept looking up more stuff, and it's amazing how much they've added to stuff through the years.
Yeah. Where did I hear it was? I forget who told me this. But just your plain white bread has less
Mhm.
crap in it than the multi-grain, health food, keto, whatever. You know, it's got the least amount of extra.
Yeah, but all the bread now, it's very hard to find bread that isn't bioengineered,
Right.
and that's so weird to think about that bread that isn't bioengineered. It's just weird.
Like you were, I don't know if it was crazy or if you were doing a stream in the morning or was it the afternoon, and you told me to look at the bread ingredients. You remember that? It was about a
Yeah,
year ago. I was in Winn Dixie,
yeah,
and I'm looking at. You told me the exact brand, what to look at, and every single time I turned it over, like, dang, it's like 2 paragraphs full of ingredients, nasty stuff.
yeah, and yeah, the bread nowadays, um, for whatever reason, I stuck a pack of hot dog buns on top of the refrigerator, and they got covered up or something. Year and a half later, I found it, and I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be gross. There was no mold. It was still squishy and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like,
all the
that
preservatives.
can't be the same buns, and it was expired by a year, and I'm like, what did they put into it that stops it from getting going bad? And
Right.
it's because it's not real. It's all chemical.
Huh. Sandy Vargas, I don't. I'll have to check next time I'm in Publix. Their ingredients on the fresh bread. I got a feeling it's baked in Lakeland because that's their hub.
Hey,
And
Vintage, good to
hey,
see you.
family, hello.
Uh,
So I
no, it doesn't. Bread doesn't. And what's even more sad, if you want bread that doesn't have that stuff in it, you pay $2 to $3 more, if not more, for you know bread that doesn't that actually has regular ingredients in it.
or make your own, right?
Yeah. Well, to make your own, um, yeast, water, oil, um, and I like using honey over um, sugar. Oh,
Right.
and flour, yeah. And a lot of times I'll use butter over the oil too, and and the bread tastes much better with the butter.
Unsalted butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Sometimes if I have salted butter, I'll leave the salt out and put the because
Right.
when you're making your own bread, you got to make sure you don't put the salt in with the the yeast, or it'll kill the yeast. It won't poof up. And I learned that the hard way too. Very flat bread. Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, that's the time we live in. And now they're saying, what's dinner? Um,
Dinner.
Depends what end of the country you're from.
Well, I can tell you what I made. It was half already prepared and half fresh. So I used a bag of bird's eye voila. Um,
Voila.
voila, like the français, voila. Uh, it's a skillet meal.
Oh,
It had the very little. I don't think it was angel hair pasta. It was thin but wide. I don't know. And I mixed that all up and got it going. And then they got the sauce packet. And then I had uh, a couple
oops.
bags of Patagonian sea scallops that you can reseal the bag. So I only put so much in there. And then I had fresh shrimp from the market. So I cooked the shrimp and the scallops together, and then
There we
cut the shrimp down, and then I fed my father and my brother and myself, all mixed in with the voila,
go. Voila.
voila, V. That was it.
I had two hamburger patties and a chunk of uh, pig belly.
Nice.
Yeah. So I went down to get bacon, and all they had is the big chunks of the bacon that wasn't sliced.
Right.
And instead of sitting there with the knife trying to slice it all, I just said plop, just plopped it in there. It helps season the burgers.
Yeah. Simply Jan, voila, like any other product, it's changed.
Oh yeah.
I just didn't have time. I normally use fresh vegetables, but the Oriental blend, and I like sesame oil, and I do it all in a wok. And but I mean, I do it all in a wok. Everything cooks together, so it's a faster cleanup. But the voila tasted good, but I'm sure it's different than before.
Yeah, they got a um, Chinese food place here. They've done a lot better since they've brought different family members in.
Hmm.
Um, at one point, people were going in there eating and taking pictures of um, maggots in the rice
Oh
because
boy,
the rice is not supposed to move across the table. Uh,
that would be called rice larva. Ooh.
hey Jeff, how's it going?
It's going pretty good if I can get my computer to cooperate.
Uh-oh.
Up, Jeff.
Might want to talk to 101 about that.
Yeah, I think my computer and his computer's been talking. What's up, Eric?
Oh, same old, different day. You know.
Tell
Yeah,
me about it.
if you go down south, dinner is lunchtime, and
Well,
supper is what everybody
You
up
know,
here calls dinner.
I'm sure by the end of this thing, you all are going to be cooking something because you're going to be hungry. So,
Yeah, that's the way it usually goes.
yeah.
boss man, Dixie cooked some cowboy pasta yesterday. Yeehaw! I'm gonna tell you what. That'd make a turtle snort. It's good.
It's good.
Yeah,
Uh,
it got jalapenos, peppers,
ooh,
yeah, all that stuff in there.
oh, that sounds good.
Oh, it is.
I seen some jalapenos in Audis, and I'm like, oh man, those look good. Because I'm on the
Oh,
carnivore thing, so I don't eat vegetables. So I'm like, oh man, even
well,
if I just chop them up and put them in my hamburger patties.
can you dehydrate the jalapenos
Yeah,
and
actually,
it
that's
comes
a
out?
really good spice. If you dehydrate them and turn it into powder
Yeah,
and sprinkle that on, ooh, good stuff. Popcorn, oh
I ain't well. Now the wife loves popcorn. After choking to death one night, I don't eat popcorn no more.
that might do it.
Yeah, but
But
uh,
now you're talking about all the additives and stuff in the
Yeah,
food. Remember back in the day when you'd get the popcorn in the glass jar, Orville Redenbacher,
yeah,
and
Orville.
you'd pour it in that popcorn machine, and then you put a little oil in there, and then you put the butter on top, and then close the little lid on top, and it was just pop, 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 and that's probably as chemical free as you're gonna get.
Yeah, then you have them hillbilly smoke detectors that Jeff
yes,
always
sir.
has. Those Jiffy
You
Pops.
hang them up over.
Oh God, we used to use Jiffy Pops all the time.
Yeah,
They still sell them, believe it
I
or
think
not.
so.
Yeah,
yeah.
because
I want my own jalapenos though for that. The ones in the store, I'll just make jalapeno poppers out of them or something.
man, don't even go there with that.
Yeah,
I
well,
love jalapeno poppers.
yeah. Toward the end of the year, that's when I usually get the jalapenos for making uh, a spice out of them. Same thing with cayenne, because a lot of times I'll use a lot of the cayenne for tinctures and stuff,
Yeah.
um, or um, fermenting them.
Well, if you can find somebody who grows cayenne peppers around here, you're lucky. They hard to grow in this area.
Really?
Yeah.
Um, and Andell, she grows them.
Excuse me.
She's North Carolina.
Now, who is this?
Andell.
I don't know her.
I'm trying to remember what part she's at. I think she's not real close to the coast, but she's on that end.
Okay. Well, now you got to remember, I'm center North Carolina.
Yeah.
Now, the coast is more sand and they get more sun, which, if I'm not mistaken, that's what cayenne peppers thrive on is the heat and
Oh
sun.
yeah, just like tomatoes. Tomatoes and peppers need at least 8 hours of sun.
Well, this is going to be my first year of growing pineapple tomatoes. I got to try them.
Oh, really? That's what I planted this year.
Is it?
Yeah. Last year, because I'm gonna have to get me some seeds that haven't been cross pollinated so much, because my seeds, because I've been growing from one set of seeds, and then the next year, the seeds I save are the ones I plant the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last year's purple Cherokee tomatoes had a bit more acid in them. I think it was because of the other tomatoes that I grew. They cross pollinated a bit. So I'm gonna have to start over again and at least keep one plant to where I can put a net over it or something, to where I can just
Right.
keep those seeds genuine purple Cherokee.
Well, now, yeah, I'm gonna tell you, my summer is already booked, plain and simple.
Where
About a
you go?
month ago, I put an ad on Marketplace, porch swing. Okay, I said it, and I waited, and nobody answered it. I got a email today wanting a porch swing.
Oh,
I've got enough. I've got enough lumber to make one cedar. Okay. I went back through Marketplace. Dude, I got over 20 people who's wanting porch swing.
there you go.
I'm sitting there trying to get up with everybody.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I got enough wood for one.
Oh, so you're gonna be busy looking for wood.
Yeah, I've got the person I normally get it from. He don't deal with cedar no more. He
Oh,
deals with redwood and white oak. So cedar around here is kind of hard to find, or if you do find it, it's outrageous.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Couldn't
I've
you
been
use like a
outside. I've been
hard southern? Couldn't you use a hard southern pine, Jeff?
well, southern pine and red cedar is two different things.
Well, yeah.
It's got two different looks in it.
Right.
But if I cannot say that word, but if they strictly want cedar,
Right.
you can't give them something else and say this is cedar. You
Right.
know,
yeah.
they
So
don't.
Isn't
all of
cedar supposed to smell?
well, yeah. That's
Yeah.
why they use them on the sides of houses and stuff, and in little birdhouses because it keeps the
Yeah.
bugs away.
Well, see, cedar also lasts longer if it's
Yeah.
going to be outside. But a lot of people does not know in order for it to last, it has to be treated.
Sure.
Mhm.
You know, plain simple.
I know this guy. He made he well, he claimed he made $1,000 a month off of Facebook Market selling these little things that go on. It was cedar, a little thing that hung on your hangers
Mm-hmm.
to
Oh,
get
for
rid of
moths and bugs.
moths and stuff. And
Yeah.
he sold them a set of 3 for like $10, and all it was is a piece of wood that had a hole drilled in it. And where he got the wood was the cedar planks from a 6-foot fence. Or
Yeah.
it's not really 6 foot; it's under 6 foot. But
Yeah.
um, and he just chopped them down and drilled holes through them all and sanded them and everything, and sold them for 3 for $10.
I think I've seen the same one
And I'm
up
like,
high, but it's
dang,
been a
if
while.
I did that, I'd probably end up with a bunch of holy wood sitting around. Nobody would buy
Boss,
them.
I'll tell you what, where the big sales are right now, cedar birdhouses. Yeah, I mean, I've never made a birdhouse. I wouldn't know how to go about doing one until I take one apart.
It wouldn't be too
But
hard.
you would think, but you got, I mean, you know, now I know a guy who made a birdhouse. And he put the little peg out there, you know, for the bird to land on before he went in the hole.
Yeah.
The bad thing about this, he painted a circle. So if the bird was to fly, try to fly,
Don't. I can't
yeah.
get in. Oh boy.
But you know, you got right now is the time to set up at places to sell stuff.
Well, down there it is.
Well, yeah, but you've got to, while you setting up of what you're selling, you've got to have people to make it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just me. I can't do all that. It's word of mouth only. And you know the situation I'm in, I got to be careful too.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. Well,
It's going to change next January. I can go to work.
so we're going to go ahead and do our first, and this is members only. So, but we'll do another one, but it'll be whoever's in chat type of thing. And the first one is from OdenWolf. The knives I did a review on not too long ago. It's got the sheath and everything. It's got the black matting on it and stuff. You can see it's a nice thick spine on it. Oh, and it has this thing. I have no idea what's in there.
Got a nice spine on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm wanting to go take it out in the woods and bang on it for a while, see how well they do.
Well, you know, if you can baton with a knife, you cannot use it to strike a ferro rod with it.
Yeah, you can. I've done it with multiple knives. Well, see this has got a stainless steel thing on it, so it's not the best. I think you're talking about flint and steel.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, ferro rod's different. You just need an edge to sling that fair seam off of it. But
I took it.
That's the first giveaway there.
I took a whole file and made a striker for me.
Yeah, yeah. You have to have carbon steel for flint and steel.
I can't think of the name of the file, but it's back in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah, that's that. Number something steel. I can't remember. Yeah. 1040? Is it 1040? I can't remember.
I think it's something else. Same thing a leaf spring's made out of.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I can't remember what it was.
Excuse me. Isn't that 15 something? 15?
I know it. I can't remember. But technically, I would rather have a carbon knife than a carbon steel knife, even though you have to take care of it because you have to oil it and stuff because it'll rust because it doesn't have any protection. They actually hold their edge a lot better than the stainless steel and all those fancy other things. You know, the thing where you fold it over and over again. Somebody will get it in chat.
Mr. Cheddar Prepper said 1095. That's correct.
Is it 1095? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and spin this thing and see who gets. Oh, I have to do the shuffle thing, don't I? If I don't do the shuffle thing, there we go. There we go. And there's 17 members. So you got a 1 in 17 chance of winning.
With me is losing.
Uh-oh. Oh, Eric almost got lucky.
Very, very close.
Oh, Lively Prepper. Oops.
There we go.
There we go. I haven't seen Lively Prepper for a little bit.
Dog, I wasn't but 2 spaces away.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead and set that back and put her name on it. Okay, let me remove that.
Damascus steel.
Yeah, Damascus is where they fold it over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, they make side-by-side barrels out of Damascus steel too. They roll it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Where's my bot? Giveaway.
I got a knife Roy made me, handmade this Damascus. And I can't find that thing nowhere. A good hunting knife.
Is this the people who are in here? I don't think so. How can we refresh this? Reset. Okay, that worked better. Okay. Let me add it in here. Okay. Screen.
Now, the winners, do they have to be in chat or not?
Well, they have to contact me.
Okay.
This one is a hashtag, so all you have to do, I don't know if you guys are going to see that, is well, not a hashtag, but explanation grow bags, which where are my grow bags? Well, you guys know what grow bags are. I think these ones are 5-gallon grow bags. Yeah, I think that's as soon as somebody does the hashtag, then it should be able to move this thing out the way. Because I don't have the StreamYard thing because they blocked it from me. If you don't pay for it, they don't let you use it.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. That's why they call the hunting knives, because they're always having to hunt for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Susie D, Grace, you guys need to change that to an explanation point.
I thought you said hashtag.
Well, I meant, you know, it's got to be like that, and that's not showing up either. What the heck's going on?
Ah, shucks. Well, let me start this over again.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's thrown off. Let me get rid of that stupid thing.
Which one?
There, I'll make it.
One word or hyphenated?
One word like this. Grow bags. There we go. Now you can see it. I think I have to open this first. We'll see what happens. Okay, now do it again. Sorry. Okay, Marshmallow Man. Okay, his worked. Okay. Yeah, might help if I turn it on, huh? So make sure you guys type it in again just to make sure. Because right now, all we have is, oh, there's Susie D. There you go. And the tickets are free, so you don't have to worry about it.
Thank you, Miss Susie.
And do I have a thing that says my email? No. Oh, well, that'll work. Hey, Ragnar. Yeah, we got Lewis, Susie D, Jeff, Chris, Jennifer, Resourceful Living, Anne, Dana B, CJ, and Christine.
Christine.
Christine. Is that Christine? I can't read it. It's way over there.
I can't see it on the.
Yeah, I know.
It looks like Christy.
Is it Christy?
You talking about the last one that just popped up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I can see it more. Christy Betts. Okay.
I'm glad you can. I got to put my second pair of glasses on.
Got called out for a meeting with the. Uh-oh. Did you get in trouble, B?
Or did the teacher get in trouble? They hesitated on calling my parents.
Yes, Susie, you're on the list. B, hurry up and type in explanation grow bag or grow bags like this. That way you'll be in the drawing.
Eric, how was your school days coming up?
I guess average. You know.
God, I wish I could say average.
I mean, living in the city up in Jersey, you know.
Okay.
Did sports, did football, did whatever. Then I got introduced to very fast cars.
Yeah.
That was it.
I was introduced to very fast cars at a young age.
Yes.
You know, but.
Yeah.
That's probably what led me to be a wrench turner for so long. But it paid the bills.
Oh yeah, it's a lot cheaper working on your own car than taking it in somewhere all the time.
Yeah, I'll give you that. What I hated the worst was working on a car during wintertime, because I don't care who you are, you're going to bust them knuckles. And it
Yeah.
hurts worse during the wintertime than it does summertime.
I guarantee there's something that's worse than that, though.
Well, the shop I worked at for years, you'd have to open up the front of the shop and the back of the shop. You know, it was just a big drive-through, like a huge
Uh,
somebody had to plow the parking lot. And
yeah.
the one guy was we had a 7-foot blade on a Jeep Renegade. Well, this guy wasn't too good. He was actually the new car manager. And he didn't stop in time, and he put the Jeep and the blade right down into the little brook that ran behind the building. So I kind of got that job, and still being having my own bay and lift and all that other stuff. So there's a lot involved with the winter.
My shop was underneath an oak tree.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Let me ask y'all a question. I've never heard of one, but I'm not saying they didn't make them. A 1961 Ford Mustang.
No.
I didn't. I think the
might have been a prototype, on paper, but Mustang didn't come out until 1964 and a half.
I thought it was 63 and a half.
No, 64.
Okay.
There might have been a model out in 64, but they didn't start selling them.
Okay.
On the market till 64 and a half.
Yeah.
Well,
first, you have to find the car.
Right.
In the snow. I remember when I was in Job Corps in South Dakota, I had gotten in trouble, so I had to shovel snow. And the snow was as high as I was.
Oh, that's horrible.
So yeah, that was a chore.
We like the one highway that I lived near, when it was a real bad storm, you'd see the Jersey DOT, they'd be coming down the road. There'd be 3 or 4 trucks staggered right next to each other. So they would clean the whole road in one shot. And you want to see the rooster tail coming out the side of these trucks, this snow. And people would just get off the road, not get off the road, but get on a jug handle and remove yourself from the area, because they just buried people. They were on a schedule, and there were people stuck there for hours after they came through because they got covered up. So,
I love trying to find a snowplow. I'd get right in behind them.
Okay, last call. If you're not in the drawing, go ahead and hit explanation grow bags. I'm about ready to hit the button.
Give them about 2 more minutes. It'll be 10 till.
10 till? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
cool, Regina. Harold Shelby, yeah, he was.
Oh.
Now, when I started getting into cars and everything, I already knew a little bit. But the people I started running with, it was 3 brothers and 2 sisters. All right. Now, Daddy said, you want to help switch your motor and transmission around? I said, sure, why not? He told me what to do. I crawled up underneath it, I didn't take transmission loose from the motor, but I took drive shaft out and everything else out. Would you believe within 4 hours, we had both motors out, switched over, and the car running?
Wow.
Well, that's old cars. Nowadays,
a lot of space.
There's so much stuff that you have to hook up, and you have to boot the computer up, and
yeah,
so much junk. I can't stand these cars nowadays.
No, well, it's not the cars, it's the damn engineers that are, who thinks of this stuff? You gotta pull a flywheel to get to a bolt, or
Yeah.
how you pulling a flywheel? Well, you got to pull the transmission.
You
Get to a
got to
bolt.
lift the motor up to take the starter off.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Now, some of these cars, you got to take the tire off to change the battery.
Oh, I know. That's the new Dodge. Well, the 2005 until the 12-ish area. You have to take the passenger side wheel off in the wheel well to get to the
Yeah.
battery.
Yeah.
Oh, the battery shelf is through the wheel well. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I'm standing, the guy wanted the battery change. They gave me the job. I'm standing there for 15 minutes trying to figure out where the battery's at.
Cadillacs, it's under the back seat.
There's another one under the back seat also. I cannot remember what it was. But some of these Fords, to change the oil filter on it, you got to turn the wheel as far as you can left so the oil filter can fall out.
Yeah.
All right, time to go.
Okay, last call. Anybody else get their thing in there for grow bags? And
Miss
here
Mischief,
we go.
We had a Jeep Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, but our battery was not under the back. Go.
Oh, there it is up there.
Up there where?
And Sharon got it. Up at the top. Can you see it?
No, let me kill my chat. Hold on. I got my chat.
I wish it'd let me zoom into this, but I don't think it does let you zoom
There's
in.
no way. No, I can't even see it.
Right there.
Really?
I wish you would put it down here somewhere.
What is it? Sharon Hodgen?
Hodges, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I barely can make it out. If you hadn't have said what the name was, I couldn't have read it. Well, congratulations, Miss Sharon.
Yes. Congrats.
Yeah, go ahead and email me your information and I'll get it out to you probably next week because
Gardening.
no payday. Yeah, this is end of the month, but I'll get them end of the first of the month is just Tuesday, so it'll work.
Yeah, I've got in order for me. I should have did it. I got to go out there and cut a whole bunch of brush down so I can get some sun into my garden.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, there it actually shows her her message. Booyah. There we go.
It does.
Yeah, right here.
And my TV's slow. Okay, it just popped up. Thank you. You were well. Yeah. Never mind. Make my show.
Woohoo!
Yippee-ki-ko.
Okay, let me go ahead and reset this one, and we'll get the next one going here.
I wasn't thinking. I was at my daughter's house, and I said yippee-ki-ko, and one of my grandsons learned a new word.
Okay.
CJ says Bushy Bot said that she won.
Did it really?
That's what she says. Now Grace is saying Bushcraft. It says CJ won.
Oh, okay. Well, so I don't want nobody get their feelings hurt, so I'll just send you both to the grow bags.
Oh Lord, what did I do to Regina?
So CJ send me a email, and Sharon send me email about the grow bags. Because I did think I hit it twice, but I didn't see anything pop up. So, and I could put a timer on it too, but I won't worry about that. But our next one is, let me go ahead and open it.
Now, at
See if it pops up. It should say, did it pop up? Oh, there it is right there.
Bushcraft. BushyBot says Sharon and CJ both won.
Yeah, I know. I'm giving them both the win.
Okay.
And the next one is type in explanation lids for canning lids. Oh, let me.
Sharon wants to know what your email is.
It's down in the description of all my videos.
Type lids. Okay. Let's see what we can get.
Yeah, and this is 60 lids. I think it's 60. Yeah, 60 regular canning lids from Superb. And you notice that little flag over there, made in the United States, actually made in Ohio. So
Now, is that wide mouth or regular?
regular.
All right.
Well, I done made my camera small again. I do have some.
Yeah.
I think the large ones are out in the kitchen. It's right there on the screen. Lids, explanation lids.
Yeah, but just because I know how to spell it, when I go to type it in, don't mean I'm going to spell it right.
Well, your name's up there, so evidently you typed it in right.
Yeah, I see
up
that.
there.
I wish I could make my screen on TV bigger.
Well, that's why I said I wish I could make this bigger. And I could put a timer on it too, but I don't want to make it too fancy.
Bushcraft, I've got 2 extra TVs. I can send you one where you can hook it up and see it through your TV.
Yeah, but I got monitors right here.
Yeah, but these monitors are bigger than, I mean, this TV is bigger than your monitors.
Well, my main one here is 32 inches.
Never mind, I'm out.
The other ones are smaller. They're only 24 inch.
Well,
Or 27 inch.
I'm not going to send you the one I'm watching. It's a 42.
Well, I've got the 42 inch TV up here, but I actually, that's when I still wish YouTube would let you comment at least some random something on a video that you watch on YouTube.
Through the TV, yeah.
Thank you, CJ. Yeah, just got it.
Your StreamYard trying to get me to join back up.
Oh, I bet.
Not for the price that they charge. There's no way.
No. And I was paying $9 a month for StreamYard. And they took away, the limitations and everything. So I was getting the full thing for $9. Yeah. I was happy until they said, Oh, next month we're charging you $44. I said, no, you're not. Bye.
I was paying 25 a month. Okay. And
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of struggling then. But when they sent me a thing saying $50 a month,
No.
uh-uh. If I was a big time YouTuber, maybe, but I'm not.
Yeah. It's like that guy that does all the weather. Man,
Yeah.
that donations go like I'm like, wow. Yeah, if I had donations coming in like that, I wouldn't mind getting a StreamYard, but I would still have a hard time with it.
I'll take a cup of coffee, but I would change the coffee to hot chocolate.
Yeah.
The reason I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, that they're going to take a percentage of whatever other people give you. But if you say it's hot chocolate or coffee fund, they won't mess with it.
No, there's an actual website, Buy Me Coffee,
Yeah.
that it's not affiliated with YouTube. YouTube will take out 34 to 44% of a super chat or membership or any of that stuff. Now, if you go over to the coffee, Buy Me Coffee, they take out 5%. So
Now.
you get more of the money that people
Okay.
give you. And they also have memberships, which I started playing with that.
Okay. Okay.
Which
Jennifer says it's kind of like PayPal.
somewhat. PayPal is you got to be careful with PayPal now because uh, the 3-letter agency wants money.
They all time want money.
Yeah, but by law they have to. If you get so much money, they send a letter to that agency saying, "Hey, this person got this much money."
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So right now I can't do jack,
Well,
but after January I can.
well, you could. It depends on how much you would make too.
I can't. You might can. No, you can't either.
Um, yeah, you have to know because if you start and go and um, start up PayPal and start asking for donations and stuff that and not know anything, all your information is going to be out to the public because they're very unsecure for new users. If you know
Oh,
how to turn everything off, it's pretty good.
Bushcraft.
Um,
This is what Grace typed in. Bushcraft, what's your email for sharing? I did not see it in your about section.
about section.
Yeah.
Well, it's there. Um,
Now this is what Grace said.
yeah, it's there because you have to have it. You have to have it there if you're monetized. But if you go in the description, it's down there too. All my information's down there in the description
Okay.
in all my videos.
Now which one are you using? because a while back ago you had like 2 or 3 different ones.
Oh yeah, I do. I have some for the show and different channels.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. I'll go ahead and copy it and put it in here. There we go.
Prepper 101. Hello, sir. How you be tonight?
Yeah, hold on a minute, Jim. I was getting the email up there. Hey, Jim.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey,
Hey, Eric, how you doing tonight?
pretty good. How about you?
Okay. How's Jeff doing?
I'm here. I'm tired.
Good.
I'm tired too. Worked all day.
Okay, everybody got their
Time-
explanation lids in.
Time to go for it.
Okay. Now let's make sure I only hit it once this time. There we go. Life with Bobby. And it should pop up saying Life with Bobby 1. Our email is not visible in About section when we look from mobile phones. Oh, okay. You have one. Oh, there it is.
What did Life with Bobby win?
Canning
Flying
lids,
saucers.
60 of them.
Life with Bobby, you got 60 flying saucers.
Hey, how do you know who won? Somebody asked in chat, Bushcraft.
Well, BushyBot just said it.
Oh, okay.
And you can see it all right here. It's on the screen. You just have to have some really good glasses. And you see the name up here, winner, Life with Bobby, right there. And then that's Life with Bobby saying, "Oh wow." And then it announces it right here on the screen too. So it's not like the normal StreamYard one where it's nice and big, everybody gets to see it. But I'm not paying $44 to use that.
That's what it costs a month now?
Yeah.
For 10 people. Boy, that went up a lot.
Yeah. Go ahead and send me an email. And let me add that again. And my email will always be in the video descriptions if it's not on the About section. But yeah, I don't know with a phone because I don't look at YouTube with a phone. I don't look at hardly anything with my phone, so. And usually when I do, I skip to the bottom. Right, Eric?
You are not a fan of scrolling. That's all I said. I'll be like, Charles, you missed that. No, I didn't. I just don't scroll.
The internet has given scrolling a different meaning than what it was thousands of years ago.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, there's the Dead Sea Scrolls, and then there's scrolling on Signal.
You never know what you're going to scroll into.
So, Jim, did you shoot at anything today?
Actually, the deer, every March, these deer relocate. They've
I'd relocate too if I lived.
They've done a lot of damage. The grass is greened up, so they're eating grass. They have. This is the worst year ever because of the drought. They had nothing to eat. I was talking to my sister earlier tonight, and they're finding the same thing. The deer went up to about 500 Canaan for his 4 foot tall, and ate all the side branches off. I don't know if they're going to come back or not.
Hmm.
What are you going to do when you have so much wildlife?
Well, you can write that off, though, can't you?
No, you can't because, okay, the way the tax code is, to write off a loss like that, you would have to report what all the trees are worth every year as a capital gains and pay taxes on them, even if you didn't sell them. Like I said, this was the drought we had. I mean, we're technically in a drought still. The drought we had last year, it was the longest drought I remember. We had one in '99 where we had 3 months of no rain. By 1999, we got like almost a foot of rain from Hurricane Floyd. And that was in like late August, September.
Yeah.
And around here, well, because I had to go pick up my mower that had to be fixed. Around here, I don't see, there's a lot, most of the state park property next to me, they didn't plant crops in it last year. I've been saying for months it's a fire hazard. All this hay that wasn't cut and baled.
Yeah.
And look what's going on in South Carolina. There was actually a brush fire yesterday in Pennsylvania, Tinicum Township. I don't even know where that is, near Philly, I think.
What was that?
Oh,
Oh, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it.
I thought it was frozen for a minute.
I was looking at the phone trying to find the email with the phone, and you guys are right. It doesn't show up because usually on the computer you have to hit the button and say I'm not a robot. Thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate it. Uh-oh, what was that? Oh.
Oh, Eric, I got the truck fixed. The sensor malfunction, I needed a new whole brake bearing housing.
Okay. This is on your Ford, right?
No, my Chevy Silverado. It's an 03 8-foot extended cab.
What they hit you for that?
Pardon me?
What they hit you for that?
The whole repair was a little less than $700.
Wow.
They figure they got to make money on the parts.
Yeah, B brings something up. There's an old thing that it's made out of bones. You can make it yourself. You basically dig a hole and you burn the bones, and then the juice from the bones you collect in a jar and you wipe it on sticks around in fruit orchards and stuff. They smear it around the trunk of the tree, and no animals will go around it because it's the scent of death.
Listen, I've already found dead deer here that I shot and couldn't find them for a day or two. It doesn't deter them. I've tried Irish Spring.
Oh, that won't. No.
Cayenne powder. Years ago, I tried coyote urine. Actually, the Game Commission has tested. I've tried that dried blood meal. The Game Commission has tested every deer repellent known to man over the course of time, and they said they haven't found that one deer repellent really makes any difference at all. Plus, most of the stuff.
I knew what the name of that was. And usually you can buy it off of people. It's not something you buy in a store. You actually have to buy it off the person because it's, you're burning bones from an animal, a pig, cow, whatever, and the juices and everything concentrate down into, and you keep it in a jar, and it's like tar, and you just smear it wherever you want animals not to go. Yeah, that bone sauce. Yeah.
And there's a lot of deer repellent out there that has egg whites in it.
Why egg whites?
Okay, a lot. If you look at the ingredients, deer don't like the smell of egg whites. But okay, I've talked to some of the people that are in the wildlife biology area. I think his name was Gary Old, about 20 years ago. He said when you have a high enough deer concentration, nothing will keep them out. Believe me, the Game Commission's done all kinds of tests. And I know someone is thinking of putting a 9-foot high fence up. And I know of people that have put up 8-foot high fences. Actually, I know a nursery in Spartansburg, PA, Berkey's. They put up one of these 7-foot high slanted fences because the angle it is, it's hard for the deer to jump over. Well, you know what the deer did? They started digging holes to get under the fence.
Yeah.
If deer want to come in, there's no way of stopping them.
Yeah, it's like trying to keep goats in a fence.
Well, the best thing to do is what I've been doing is just shooting them.
Well, you don't want to shoot goats.
No, the deer. Like I said, this past week I haven't seen a deer out here. All of a sudden, around the end of March, they just relocate.
Thank you, Susie D.
And it annoys me that there's hay
I
that
appreciate it.
there's hay that wasn't been baled last year in the park that has seeds on it, and you think they would eat the seeds. They'd rather eat the trees.
It's probably because they're missing something.
The hay's probably all nasty and wet.
I even see we have 2 sycamore trees on the property down the drainage area. One of these has to be over 300 years old. It's got a trunk on it over 4-foot diameter. I can see where the deer were biting at the trunk just for something to eat. They'll go up to old cherry trees and hedgerow and just start eating the trunk out of starvation. You drive by anybody's house in this area, even the developments, the plants up close to the house, like a yew, any kind of shrubbery has all been eaten. One of my neighbors had planted green giant arborvitaes, and they got 8 foot tall. And this is the first winter the deer went up to these things and ate all the green 4 feet off the ground. Penn State says they don't eat these wild cedar trees that come up. Technically, they're juniper. Well, there's wild cedar trees that have been eaten. And I see in the park property where they didn't mow, that Rosa multiflora picker bush comes up every year. You know what they did to that stuff? They ate it, and it's got thorns on it. See, if we had like 2 or 3 coming in, the deer repellents might work. But when you have as many coming in as we do, nothing's going to keep them out.
Yeah, I know a guy that has hundreds of acres of apple trees, and they'll go through and young apple trees, they'll munch them down to the nub.
I know.
He smeared that stuff. He ordered it from somebody online. I don't know who it was, but he smeared that on there. No deer touched any of those trees.
But how are you going to do? Look at it like this. The way I plant trees is spacing 5.5 foot apart, center to center. That's like 1,400 trees an acre. How are you going to treat thousands of trees?
One at a time.
It would be too time consuming. And actually, Tammy asked about the deer. I've seen deer out here in the winter as little as 25 pounds, and I've seen deer out here that weigh about 225 to 240. I've seen bucks out here that are probably 80 pounds that have a real peddly 6 to 8 point rack. And I've seen big ones that have a 6 point rack that's like this wide. And I found a 5 point that fell for one deer. I showed it one night on the show. It's the smallest. The thing's about this wide. One antler, 5 point.
Oh yeah.
And the reason they dropped their antlers so soon this past year was because of starvation. They just weren't getting enough nutrition. And as soon as they dropped their antlers, I saw deer out here a month ago. Bucks, you can see like a new spike coming out of its head, the skull cap. And actually, the game warden told me there's a woman that has a vegetable farm in Bucks County. She said the amount of produce the deer ate every summer was enough for her to go and buy a brand new car.
Oof.
And see, one thing they like about the conifers is the fact that they have vitamin C. When they eat deciduous trees like maples, oaks, pears, cherries, they're not getting the vitamin C from that like they are a Christmas tree. Well, be charming. I pick up the sheds and I give them to Holly. About 30 years ago, I wrecked a rear tire on the tractor because I didn't see it mowing. It punctured a hole in the rear of an old Kubota I had. It completely, the hole was so big it destroyed the tire. Grace, I would need a 10-ton truck full of apples. I literally would if you saw the number of deer that come in here.
You would get in trouble for feeding them then.
Well, listen, if you're a hunter, you can bait them in Pennsylvania on private property.
Oh, can you? Okay.
Okay, on state park you can, but if you're a farmer, you can't bait them for crop damage shooting. And the funny thing is, most of the crop damage is next to one of my neighbors. It's not on the side of the property that borders the park. Well, Grace, the property, if you measure it from the center of the road, it's 11.66 acres. From the roadway, it's 11.3.
Thank you, Susie D. I appreciate it. That'll about cover the shipping.
How many items have you given away in the win?
Just 3. I'll probably do a couple more on Tuesday.
Now, how many canning lids does Life with Bobby get?
60.
60. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a lot, boy.
Yeah, that's the containers I got. These things. They're supposed to be sending me out some more stuff because they just made a deal with a glass company in Georgia. So the jars, the lids, the rings, everything's made in the United States with American products or American steel and everything. It's not shipped in from somewhere else and then somebody stamps a label on it like the Ball brand. Yeah, I'm surprised how I remember when they had like a $5 thing to anywhere in the United States, it was $5. And I was like, oh, that's cool. It just, the other thing it sucks is sent into Canada. Oh man, that's like add $20 to send something.
I'd like to know where Jennifer Ocean Homestead is at, where it's illegal to kill deer. I wonder if she's even in the U.S.
No, she's in Canada.
You can't kill deer in Canada? I didn't know that. I mean, don't they allow hunting?
Well, that's probably a certain time.
Thanks, New Brunswick, Canada.
Wow.
And you figure certain states,
$12 for yarn?
every
yarn? Dang.
how much has yarn gone up, Grace?
No, that's to send it to Florida. And yarn's pretty light. Jeez.
I know Grace goes through a lot of yarn.
Yeah, if you go watch what's their name? True Grit, Appalachian Ways. He talks about using it there, and if they what they do, they put it on stakes around the garden, so they'll put it up on the garden, and they don't have deer. They may have like a raccoon or a possum come in and get stuff, but the deer don't come down once that bone sauce is on that stick. it's like a major deterrent. They just walk around.
Well, about 25 years ago, I diluted Irish Spring soap and sprayed that.
Oh, that doesn't work.
I know.
I've seen deer eat the soap.
I've tried mothballs.
Yeah, mothballs never work. That's more for little ground critters.
You figure every now and then there's big coyote out here. And I've seen coyote herds out here, then the deer take off. And you figure if the coyote don't deter them, nothing's going to deter them.
Dang,
I'm back.
that's expensive too. Welcome back, Joe.
I wonder if Grace was getting her yarn from Joanne Fabrics.
I just seen somebody get their last thing from him because they're closing.
Okay, that kind of shows you that people aren't making, homemade clothing like they used to for Joanne Fabrics to close.
Well, it's just too easy to buy it at the store now.
When I was a kid, the chicken feed came in burlap bags and it had patterns. It wasn't like the burlap. You would use the ball and burlap a tray. And my grandmother got my sisters into making skirts out of them.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes hair works.
Listen, we've tried dog hair. Our last dog, I could fill up a whole Walmart bag. It would take 15 minutes to brush, 10 or 15 minutes to brush Miss Heidi. I put, even every time my wife vacuums, we got more hair with this dog, with Holly, than any. We put dog hair out there, it doesn't make a difference.
12 gauge slugs.
What, Chef?
12 gauge slugs help.
You say 12 gauge slugs?
Yeah.
You won't even believe how many boxes of 250 I own.
I know how much meat I would have in the freezer.
I was telling you guys before, you know what they charge? I didn't get it this year. I didn't get any little ones when it was convenient. The butcher one. Butchers around here charge $3 a pound to butcher deer meat. If you want to turn in the lunch meat, it's $5 a pound.
I do it myself.
Yeah.
Jeez.
$5 to turn it into any kind of lunch meat, pepperoni, or sausage.
First couple of times I've been wasting a lot of meat.
Yeah, it's not that hard to make salami and stuff. Just time consuming.
I mean, everything's expensive. I remember years ago when a person could get a deer butchered for $100. And there's so many deer being shot by farmers for crop damage. You know what's happening to most of these deer? The Game Commission picks up, I found out. There's a place where the Game Commission owns ground in this county. They're putting them in a pit.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
People that want deer meat can't afford to get them butchered. Grace, it's not worth sending me the. You figure Holly's half Carolina dog, and packs of these kill fawns. I can when I take her out in the evenings. There's times in the winter I can get closer to a deer with her than I can with my pew. They can smell gunpowder residue.
Yeah.
Listen, there's people that I know that'll take the deer beat charming, but for me, I went through this 20 years ago. I called up people at the county. They can't take a deer unless it was butchered by a certified butcher. I mean, the most the game wardens can do is give these to needy families that want to butcher the deer.
And they can drop them off here anytime you want.
And there's not many. Most of the guys that butchered, most of the people, there used to be about 5 guys in this area that butchered deer. Guess what? All of them retired.
Wow. You're too close to the city there, Jim.
Even the northern part of the county, a lot. You figure when I was a kid, there was a butcher shop a few miles from my parents' home where my mother got meat called Zeller's Butchers. It's a dying industry.
Yeah, Tammy, that doesn't work. I've seen deer eat the soap, and and they say use that for mice and rats to keep them out of your house. I've seen them pick up the bar of soap and take it home with them.
Evidently, one of them rats stunk so bad they had to take a bar of soap home.
Well, it probably used to work, but they probably changed the formula since then.
And the
So
thing,
I always used to hear that too.
the thing I found out the hard way is don't put pepper in a sprayer; it'll clog it up.
I'm not even going to ask.
Now I tried the cayenne pepper, and the sprayer got clogged. I had to take the whole thing apart.
Yeah, you can't keep them weird Jersey people away.
Well, even the borough, it's not a city. It holds like 44,000 people. Even our county seat in Norristown, PA, deer have gotten into areas where there's nothing for them to eat and cause car accidents.
Now I'm gonna tell you, right here where I live at, which is about 3 acres. It ain't a lot, nothing like that. But beside the road, I got a fence up, and it's got old brush and bushes and everything growing up that I've not cut down. I've seen deer come in the field and just lay there and watch the traffic go by. It's like, hey, bye, like that right
Sitting
there.
out in the sun.
Yeah. And I've seen them graze in my backyard. That if I could open up the door, I'd probably jump out the door on one of them. But again, me and the wife see the same way on this. If them deer's in my yard, I'm not shooting one. It's a safe haven. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Until they get in my garden.
Jerky time.
Dude, I saw turkeys in the field for the first time this year. And we've been here going on 13 years. And I'm telling you, them were some huge turkeys. I thought they were vultures. Tabasco Company.
Make friends with somebody at the Tabasco Company, Jim.
Oh, crap. All right. Medicine time. I hate this part.
Yeah, I have to get out there and start cleaning my beds up, getting ready. I was going to do it today, but it was all rainy, and I don't want to get track mud all over the place.
Dude, 78 today and tomorrow. And we got, what did they say, tomorrow night, we got rain coming in for Sunday. I think it's something like 50% Sunday, 80% Monday.
Yeah, we got rain today, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, we'll probably might get snow Tuesday. Oh, it's rain all until next Sunday.
Really?
Yeah. So it looks like I'm gonna be getting muddy anyway.
I like to know what's going on with Mother Nature. Who pissed her off this year?
It's about that time when it next winter's going to be brutal though.
That's about what I'm thinking here.
Yeah.
Well, maybe for y'all.
Well, I think we're due for a 78 or 77, 78 winter.
78, 79. Cause me and the wife met in 80.
I remember 77 when I was in 11th grade, 77, 78. We had snow on the ground from late December until March. I remember
Yeah.
even around 79 or 80, we had an 18-inch storm like around the middle of March.
Now, ain't that where they were jumping out of the windows?
Well, I had to go out the roof. We busted up the metal roof just to get out.
Now, here we had ice. We didn't have snow. We had ice. And maybe, just maybe, a foot of snow. But I've never seen so many trees down in all my life as I did that year. And that was the year my daddy took my car keys away from me. He said, there ain't no way I was driving that stuff.
Jeff, can you smell any smoke from the fires in South Carolina?
No. They are west of us. From what I've seen on TV, from a little bit south of Asheville, southeast of Asheville, all the way going west, that place is on fire.
Well, there's I watched a video last night, I think it was. There's a place in North Carolina where nobody's allowed, and there's fires that is in an X location, and they got it blocked off to nobody can go in there.
What's the name of the county?
I can't remember. I think maybe Grace seen the video too. It was on TikTok about fires in North Carolina that they didn't want people in.
Okay.
And I'm thinking it was, I'm not positive, but they were mentioning something about a cave.
Oh, that's got to be in Asheville, because part of that, you got to go through a cave to get to Asheville if you get on the old road. But then again, there what's the name of these caves we went to?
Yeah, he said he don't know what's going on, but there's something definitely, fishy going on, because they're not letting people through certain ways to go around it or anything. It was weird.
Laurel Caverns. Okay. That
sounds familiar there, though.
I've heard of that place.
That's south of Boone, okay, on 321.
Yeah, that might be it.
You can go down in there, and it seems like you get 20 feet into the door, the temperature changes about 20 degrees cooler. But you got Laurel Caverns, and then you got that other cave that you got to go through in Asheboro, and I can't think of it.
Yeah, I was going to save that video and send it to you, and I forgot all about it.
Let me see if I can pull it up on that.
Because I don't know if you had TikTok or not, so I
got TikTok, but I don't watch it.
Okay.
Okay, there could still be unexplored areas at the bases of the mountains, even with all the people. You look at rural areas of this country, Pennsylvania, areas like North Carolina. Actually, they reported this summer, and I think it's getting worse, that underground coal mine fire in Centralia, Pennsylvania is spreading.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the one that happened at my grandpa was part of. You still smell it burning
Well, there's one
down,
in Ohio.
down under the earth and stuff.
What town in Ohio is the one is that underground coal mine fire?
Millfield, Ohio. It's really small little area.
Boss man, I just pulled up on maps up around Asheville. All those little red dots is fires, and I
And an X.
mean,
Is it an X?
well, when I go out, to bring them in, it quit showing it.
Oh,
Bushcraft, maybe 101's in chat. Maybe you can put them.
hey, 101.
What's up, dude? You going live tonight, or you gonna stay dead?
I didn't check and see if he was going live or not.
I didn't see his live up. I was checked it every day this past week.
I don't see his truck.
His truck's not in chat.
Well, usually he has a picture of his truck for his live, so that's what I look for.
It ain't even showing
tomorrow night. Okay.
Stiff Richard, check out 101's new channel, The Second Dawn.
So we'll see you Sunday then.
Of next week. But around Asheville, if you'll look good enough, it's where we had the floods too, where the fires are.
That's what that kid was saying. He said it's kind of odd. The same where the flood came through, it was the same place that they're having fires. And why is that? You figure there wouldn't be much left.
Well, yes and no, because all the stuff that got washed up into a pile, all the debris, dude, it's dried out by now. So it's going to be easy to catch fire.
Well, yeah, but you would figure it would be down, not where they were showing on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you're right there at the foothills, okay? When that catches fire, then the wind is going to catch up to the fire, and then it's going to blow it up the mountain.
Yeah, they're never going to put that coal mine fire out.
Bat Cave, that's the name of the cave in Asheville, Bat Cave.
You figure there's videos of it. They actually had a good story. I don't know, like NPR, but they had a good story about that years ago on the radio, maybe back in the 90s, where they interviewed people. Imagine living in your house and all of a sudden you smell smoke, and you go down the basement and it's too hot to go in the basement, where the subfloor in these people's homes literally started catching fire.
Something like that. My map is screwed up. They've got Black Mountain due south of Asheville. It's not. It's east of Asheville. All right, I got that straight. You got fires on Highway 9. 74 runs into Lake Lure. Then you got Deep Woods Fire, Black Cave Fire. That's between Highway 9 and what's the name of it? 74. Close to South Carolina border. I mean, I could sit here for at least half hour naming off what fires are.
Bushcraft is one of when I come on the panel, or
I don't know. He'll usually yell to drop a link if he does.
okay.
No, I'm not Batman. I'm Superman. Please tell me they don't got one in Black Mountain.
Well, they've had fires in the Pine Barrens again this year, and in September, it wasn't even on the news. I should watch the Allentown news. Up where Devil's Pulpit is, where they oh, he says I'm good.
Montreat.
Up in the Appalachian Mountains, right next to Palmerton, which is the biggest toxic waste dump in Pennsylvania, they had a fire right where all the vegetation came back. And these fires don't spontaneously combust.
How many people in chat from North Carolina? Put a 1 in chat, please. I'm wanting to know something. Because I know when I had my channel, there was quite a few people from North Carolina.
Because I
Really?
I remember once, I forget how we found it, when we were hiking up the Pinnacle, we got on Route 61 that goes to Centralia, and there's all these signs, do not enter. And we had sponsors, videos on YouTube, where the asphalt road literally looked like it had melted. And it was warm.
It had to have been in the summer.
Did 101, did you post any videos this week? I don't think I've seen any pop up.
Hunting fish, are you in the west close to the fire? No, 101 was defending his truck. That's why he didn't do any videos.
Dana, Holly's taking a nap in the cage. She was outside almost all day.
Oh, no videos. Okay.
Okay, so you on the other end of the tape. That is a expensive place to live. Where he's
Yeah,
at.
that's probably a good idea.
Nice, but
Where's it? What's the expensive place to live?
Wilmington?
Delaware?
No,
North Carolina.
Oh, okay, because Wilmington, Delaware, I was thinking.
I never heard of that one.
It,
Then again, I don't live up there either.
Wilmington, Delaware is like Philadelphia. I've been on it, going through Delaware to go to Virginia on I-95. It's a place you don't want to get off I-95 and get out and walk around.
Now, where is this at?
Wilmington, Delaware.
I don't know about Delaware,
There's
but I know Pennsylvania, you better. No, you don't want that.
There's rough places in Delaware.
Yeah, Wilmington. Yep.
It's changed then. Delaware was a tourist area last time I was there.
Well, so you figure like down where Rehoboth Beach is, where the Bidens go, that's all regulated. I remember getting a parking ticket around 1981, and it came in the mail and I didn't pay it.
Well, probably not a good idea to advertise that on Alive.
Yeah, but the statute of limitations is over.
Yeah, the Clintons are going to come after you now.
And you figure when you get down to South Delaware, it's just a swamp. Then you have the beach.
Hunting, we normally go to Carolina Beach.
I can just see it next week. We'll be going. Jim will be up here. You never guess what happened. You remember that parking ticket. They got me.
You figure that's like 44 years ago.
Damn, it's racked up in price then.
It took probably 6 weeks to get that citation in the mail. I said to my father, I parked because there's no place to park, and it was on a side street, and we walked to the beach for a little. My dad said they don't have reciprocity with citations in Pennsylvania with Delaware. He said just ignore it, and he was right.
I do know this van lifer that was going through Pennsylvania, and she was getting harassed by because she was parked at the park on a public road.
It said
Parked. It was a legal parking spot. There was no you had to park in between a certain time. It was just normal parking. And this guy kept coming over there banging on the, you can't park here. We don't want your kind here. And he kept banging on there and wouldn't stop. And she ended up calling the cops. And they ended up made her leave. And I was like, yeah.
Dude,
the fact that somebody's assaulting your window and banging like that, there should have been something done about him too.
Oh, I gotta take a shot
because it's a public road. I could see if he was parked up on the sidewalk or in his yard or something, but
Hey, around here they got signs up on the park property, places where you could pull off on the side and park, no parking. You're only allowed to park in designated parking lots.
Yeah.
And you know what we've been inundated with? We've had 3 of them. One came the other day. Driveway gypsies.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, well, we have Eleven McAdam. We can do your driveway. Yesterday I got in the basement to lift weights, and all of a sudden I hear Holly bark, and I knew somebody was out here. Some guy from True Greens knocking on my door, and all I can make out with Holly barking is, I see you have a tree farm. I said, I'm holding Holly with one hand. And I said, I'm not interested, and close the door. How dumb are these people? Do they think I need True Green at a farm? Is any farmer going to have True Green? Then today, somebody called up to verify the appointment. They said, oh, I spoke to the owner yesterday. We want to verify the appointment to clean the ducts out in your house. I said, I'm the owner. I didn't make any appointment to have my ducts cleaned out.
I'll tell you what, Jim. Sounds like you're being probed. And I don't mean it that way. But they're looking into, that's not normal. They're trying to see if you're a good candidate for a welcome party.
What do you mean by welcome party?
Somebody that wants to do you harm.
Well, the people that in trucks, they were all new trucks. One guy pulls in here with the yellow lights flashing, and they have business cards.
101? Oh, okay. He had business cards. Never mind.
I didn't even take them. I gave them back to the guy.
Yeah.
And the guy from True Green was wearing a T-shirt when it was cold 2 days ago that said True Green on it. And then this guy was at other people's houses, and actually the driveway people, like the guy behind me, he does that kind of work. And it's a shame. The people across the street used to do it. And the 3 driveway guys all had they look like brand new trucks or fairly new trucks. And see, we've had this happen over the years. Every year it's usually one person stops here. Same story. Oh, we have leftover macadam. And I said to the guy, I'll take it for free, but I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, that's just a selling gimmick.
Why would
I have leftover product? I just did your neighbor down the road here, and we have leftover. Yeah,
and that's stuff I think that's $70
You want to redo all your windows.
Yeah.
Well, first tell me, how old are you? And then you know, how much do you make a year? Where am I? And why do you need this information? And it's just, I'm just like, you need to leave.
Who do you think would be behind this? Like what entity?
People trying to steal your identity.
I got a story y'all gonna laugh at.
What are you doing in the background with all that noise, Jeff?
I'm taking a shot. I'm fixing me a glass of tea, and I'm
eating some cowboy something or other.
now, believe it or not, I done ate my share of that for the night.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it sounds like a flea market. I either hear that police thing going off or something else.
Oh,
Look,
or an airport.
In
Or
this
an airport,
household,
yeah.
that's common. We don't pay it no attention.
Yeah, but we can hear it.
Flight 118's departing gate 7.
Whoa.
That too.
There goes the airplane.
The last time I got a parking ticket, it's been over 20 years ago. Okay. I pulled up in front of the courthouse to pay a parking ticket off I got the month before that. As I was getting out of the car, there was a hot police officer writing the ticket. I looked there and I said, if only some people learn how to read. She looked at me, grinned. She said, yeah, I come out of the courthouse and paying off ticket number 1. I sat down in the car. Damn, she done wrote me a ticket. I happened to look up, and there's a great big sign right in front of the car that said, no parking anytime. I said a few choice words, got out of the car, walked back in there, and I paid that ticket off. The girl said, you just got this ticket. I said, yeah, I know. But I said, I got a very smart mouth. I said, I was talking junk to the police officer because she was writing somebody else's ticket.
Yeah.
But I think that was, no, I got a speeding ticket after that. But it took the highway patrol 4 miles to catch me.
You're such a rebel.
Well, hey, them 360s ain't much to mess with,
No.
Pickup truck on top of that, 67 step side.
I used to say I paid for the new freeway system in Phoenix.
Right.
For all my speeding tickets.
Oh, I paid for it.
Well, there goes. I paid for that sign there.
Dedicated by the tickets Jeff got.
Yeah.
It seemed like about every 3 years I'd get a speeding ticket.
Oh,
I never had a speeding ticket ever.
I was getting 3 and 4 a week.
Wow.
Well, back then, the last time I paid a ticket, well, not the last time, but one of the times I went to court and beat it. Come to find out, court cost back then was less than $100. That'll give you an idea how many years ago this was. I heard now court cost is over $200.
Probably more than that.
Well, it's probably a lot more than that. All depends upon the jurisdiction, how much money the town needs, and how crooked they are.
Well, I'm not going to really say much, but
I find that hard to believe.
The town I was in, I had a lot of kinfolk working with the police department. And my motto is, if I done it, I pay for it. Straight up, plain simple.
Yeah.
But now, trust me, If a cop come up to me and saying you did this and you did that, and I know I didn't, I'm planting my feet. I may end up going to jail, but lucky I've never been to jail. Like I said, it ain't what you know, it's who you know.
Jeff, you gotta watch out for school buses. I heard on a talk radio show, I heard, I don't know which townships it is or which school district, these school buses now have cameras on them. People were getting tickets sent to them in the mail. Okay, and it has a picture. And these people actually, a lot of it was fake. The school people's vehicles were being photographed, and the pictures shows some of these people actually had a dash cam and proved it in court. The school bus was taking pictures of every vehicle they went by, and people were getting tickets, and the school bus was stopped but didn't have its red lights on or yellow lights.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was actually pulling away.
Dude, let me tell you, one of the scariest times I think I ever had, I was north of Durham in a dump truck, half loaded. School bus pulls out in front of me. I locked up all 10 brakes. Well, not the 2 front ones, but I locked up my brakes. And when I finally stopped, that school bus missed me within inches. And it had youngins on it. Dude, no, I couldn't have. Even if it wasn't my fault, I don't think I could live with that.
Well,
Columbia's interim president steps down.
One
What's
of
that?
the ones you can blow them all you want, but I'm going to know them.
what was that, Bush? Who stepped up?
Okay, now it changes here. Never mind. It's Columbia University.
Oh,
Interim president is stepping down as New York Institute sits at the center of renewed national attention over 400 million in funding cuts
yeah.
by,
Hey, that's been
Yeah.
for decades. My wife's
what'd your wife do?
Go ahead, Jim.
I think he's
brother, he came.
sounded like
He spit up.
Oh wow!
They brainwash these kids.
We didn't get anything except they brainwashed these kids because
Yeah.
you froze
You
and
kind
then
of
sped up in about 2 seconds and you went.
you're bouncing around like Grover coming out of the can.
You was possessed.
Maybe it's the same person that keeps stopping. Maybe it's the people that want to do the driveway.
I don't know.
Eric, do you think this is coincidence with these driveway gypsies or not?
No.
You think it's one person that's trying to do something?
You hope for the best, but look for the worst. That's the way the world is today.
No, you look for the worst and hope for the best.
And everybody in this neighborhood knows about me and the deer and the dog, and nobody in their right mind knocks on the front door.
Wow. Dogs,
Tell them you moved the front door to the back.
for professional people that are evil, a dog is just a incidental in the way thing that can go away quickly. It's not I mean, it's a good alarm, but
Look, I seen something. I don't know if y'all watch it or not. Well, never mind who it was. And listen very close, Bushcraft, to what I'm saying. They're saying if you take and slice up a cucumber and put sugar on it, it's going to taste like a watermelon. And there was people up on TikTok doing that, and they said it tastes like watermelon. So I'm going to try it come payday. And if that's true, Cucumber City, here we go.
Well, there's some people put sugar in cucumber salad. Why didn't that taste like watermelon?
Look, I'm just saying what I saw, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, look, if anybody in chat's got a cucumber, try it and tell us how it is.
The best cucumber salad is you put tomato in it.
Yeah. Tomato, onion,
Olive
cucumber.
oil. You don't need sugar in tomato cucumber salad. That's like putting sugar on strawberries.
I love my seafood salads, but cucumbers are not allowed in any of my salads ever, because they repeat. They repeat, and then the next day they repeat again. I can't handle it.
Oh, by the way, I know some 3 young girls that have a bone to pick with you, Eric.
Oh Lord, what did I do now?
You always wait till the last second.
Oh, with a super chat?
Yeah. Eric, why did you do that for? Backstage are yelling at you. He always does that.
I think Bug caught me. And I think your dad or Jams caught me, but
There went Jim.
Getting jumped by one female.
yeah, the people showed up in the driveway again, Jim. You know what?
Getting jumped by one female's bad enough. Getting jumped by 3 sisters, you better run.
Yeah.
That was the worst date I ever had. Whoo,
You want to hear the story?
2 of them were sisters. The third one was the best friend.
It's not the sisters you got to worry about. It's the dad walking in on you.
Around it was.
The dad probably had to break it up.
I ended up was chased down the strip, Vegas Strip. I was butt naked. This guy chased me down the strip with a baseball bat.
Well, like I said, we talked before, Bush. You ever do a book, I'll write it for you, but you got to take me everywhere you can.
Oh,
that'll be like a 2-year adventure.
Yeah, the thing that sucked is
I'll drive.
This was Nevada Palace's campground that they had next to the casino, because that's the way to go if you want a cheap place to live. Get a camper trailer or something, because they charge next to nothing to get people in there, and especially wintertime. Oh, you can pay like $20 for a month.
Sure. They know they'll probably have guests, and they'll end up in the casino with the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that, Tammy.
When I used to go to Atlantic City, which was, I'm not even going to tell you how many times a month, the points that would accrue and the perks that you'd get just from spending a couple $100 down there. I mean, I could have stayed there for a month just by, just freebie, because obviously the house wants to keep you there so you can spend.
Oh yeah.
And
that Palace had a late night thing. It was after 2:00 in the morning. You could get 3 eggs, hash browns, sausage,
nice,
bacon, and toast. And there was something else, but I can't remember what it was. It might have been a fruit cup or something, but for 49 cents. We would go in there and spend $1 each and we would end up mixing it all together.
Yeah.
And just eat it there. Oh man. Those were the 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning nights, and going in there and munching down on breakfast.
Yeah.
They actually, and I worked there. They actually kicked me out. Said that the cooks are in the back will not serve you anymore
Right.
because they had $1.99 all you can eat ribs.
Oh no.
$1.99 for as many ribs as you can eat.
Pile it
Welcome
up.
back, Jim.
I don't know what happened. It's like everybody's voice started fading out. Maybe it was the driveway guys.
Yeah, that's what Eric said.
I was trying to YouTube froze, but okay, this didn't. The next thing I know, everybody's voice was breaking up, and I lost the sound, and I'm surprised that it came back.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask Grace something, and I forget what it was now.
Better make sure you got that 870 close, buddy.
That thing's always armed and loaded.
Eric, me and you kind of think alike. I'm waiting for McDonald's to start selling hot dogs, so I could go in there and say, "I want a McWiener, and can you supersize it for me?"
Did I was I completely off of the show? Then I came.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
gone.
You'll have to watch the replay. Bear was saying all kinds of stuff about you.
Gee, thanks, Eric.
No, he wasn't. I'm just
I know Jeff was worried about me. He's a good guy.
Yeah, the buffets in Vegas are the best, and I haven't been there for ages. Over
Yep.
probably 30 years
Yeah.
at least.
There weren't any good buffets left around here.
You ever see the comedian John Panette do the buffet skit? Where's that, the Chinese buffet?
Mm-mm.
Not that I know of.
A real big heavy guy years ago. And, he said every 10 minutes the owner would come out, look at him, and say, "You be here for an hour." Just keeps
Gonna be
eating.
here another 4 hours.
Right? You don't come here anymore. You scare my wife. You go now.
Is that the one that would do a joke about the screens up there where you'd have to
Yeah,
try to grab
I think
something?
you mentioned that.
Yeah, I think I might have seen that one.
Still there.
And and the little kids, the little kids in the grabbing stuff with their hands and stuff.
Yeah.
I think if I stayed away from YouTube for too long, that's what did it, because it froze.
Back
We
in
got
my
a real
day,
good restaurant down here in the cold, Shoney's, and they had a great breakfast bar.
There weren't any buffets left around here. The King Buffet was so delicious. Any of these steakhouses like 20 years ago that had like a buffet, they're all gone.
We have two. We have the Chinese buffet and we have a pizza buffet. Oh, and then there's the all you can eat salad bar, but that doesn't count.
Have you ever been? I didn't. Some people don't like it. I like the Old Country Buffet. They had really good chicken.
Oh, if you go up north in Strasbourg, there's a Amish buffet, and that's some good stuff. And it's all food. It's not
Made up
from a
stuff.
can or anything like that.
now about a month ago, me and the wife walked into a restaurant at lunchtime. It was all you could eat buffet, and it was at a barbecue place, but they had everything: chicken, roast, whatever.
In
Now,
Columbus, or no, this is in Toledo. There's a sushi buffet, which, I mean, some of that stuff looks really good, but that's a long way away to go get something to eat and then try to make it back without having to use the bathroom in time. Eating a bunch of raw fish.
Now, back in the day, that's the only place we would go to get something to eat.
Yeah.
All you could eat. Because me and my brother, I'm going to tell you what, we put them out of business back then. I mean, we'd be eating 3 and 4 plates.
I'd take kids to Golden Corral And I would get done eating, and my kids would just sit there and keep on eating and keep on eating.
Yeah.
And there's a little trick to it. There's a certain time when you can go in the lunchtime hour, and about an hour in, it changes to dinner, and they bring out all the meats and the good stuff, and you only get charged for the lunch one.
You know, I hadn't thought about that.
That's what we would do. We'd sit there and wait, and then go in at a certain time.
Now, Eric, you was talking about Shoney's. You know why
Yes.
shut down, right?
Oh yeah.
On kind of a truck driver.
I
He was on his fourth or fifth plate. Manager come out there and told him he wasn't allowed to eat no more. He said, the sign says all you can eat buffet. He said, I don't care what that sign says. Guess what? On account of that manager and that truck driver, Shoney's is no longer in business.
Okay, there's no cheap restaurants around here. We were thinking of going out for my birthday, Jeff, and some of the places just a hamburger. If you want a cheeseburger, it's $1 extra. A piece of cheese on it. Just a hamburger was like $20.
On account of what's going on right now. Me and the wife, 2 days ago, she got 2 cheese dogs, order of fries. I got a cheeseburger and a large order of fries, which I won't do again. $14.
From where?
It's a Country Grill.
Yeah, me too.
The cheese dogs was $1.75 a piece.
Well,
Dude, we went to a hot dog place in a little town that I'm at, and they about $3 a piece.
You know what I've noticed, Jeff? One place I looked at a year ago, it's called the Eagleville Tap House. They turned this into a restaurant. Okay, a year ago they had the prices on their menu. Now they don't even show the prices.
Oh no! If they don't show the prices, I'm not staying. I will.
My sister and her husband went there a year ago, and each meal was about at least $40.
Me and the wife, I forget exactly which restaurant we went to. Never been there, never heard of it. And she said, well, what happens if they real expensive? I said, our ass can get up and walk out the door. She said, all right. I asked how much a glass of tea was. They said $3.50. I looked at the wife and I said, just curiosity, how much is a steak? About $70. And I told her, I said, don't get us nothing but the front door. And we got up and walked out. But that's been quite a few years ago. I mean,
all these places, the prices doubled wholesale.
well, you got to look at what's going on
Oh, I know.
right now. That's the main reason everything is, let's say, sky high, okay? Because even though we've got the knowledge here in the U.S. to do this stuff, it's being imported from other countries. Now, one of the owners from Walmart, I cannot think of her name right now. She does a lot of business with China. China told her in a letter, not email, that she's going to have to pay all the tariffs that Trump is charging. She said it ain't no way she's going to do that. Matter of fact, I think, now do not quote me on this one, I'm thinking Walmart's fixing to pull away completely with China. on
They're
county.
gonna have to.
They Walmart owns the majority of Walmart.
But I forgot where I saw that. But they showed the
I think
letter.
it's 70-some%,
Oh.
if I'm not mistaken. I haven't looked at it for a while though.
I mean, come on, think about it. If China gets Walmart to pay for all the tasks, or however you pronounce it, that the president's doing.
Oh,
Can
tariffs, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the price in Walmart? They're going to go sky high.
Well, they can't go too far. They can't raise it up too much. If that's the case, then Trump will step in and put a lock on things.
The other week, Walmart had the Great Value ham on sale. I couldn't believe it, for like $3.27 a pound.
Let me tell you a little secret about Walmart. All right. And I'll probably get backlash on this myself. But when they are saying that there is a sale going on and, it's on the price right there in front of it,
Good night,
price,
B.
pull it down and look at the price before it. Okay. It is a lot cheaper than the sale they're saying that they are having at that time.
Also, unless you're just going in for food or something, but if you're going in for other things, use your app and check what the prices are, because sometimes they get it wrong.
Yeah.
They'll type in the wrong price and you can get stuff really cheap.
Yeah. Let's say a tent, because I looked at a tent and the price was something like what, $40-some, and they was having sales on it because the season and everything. And I did what Bushcraft said. Shit, tent come up $20. Guess what? It's out there in the building. But
That was nice of Steph Richard stopping by, because when I did a live stream a couple of weeks ago, I told him about Bushcraft's channel 101, because he wondered, where people's went. Now I put in private chat Bushcraft a menu. That's the only place around here I could even find a price, and I can't believe $34 for chicken parmesan, like $42.
$34. Jeez.
Yeah,
where are you shopping at?
that's what it is. My sister and her husband go out occasionally. They say they get a meal at any decent restaurant is like $42.
You can get a chicken parm down here, whether it's a mom and pop place or Carrabba's or whatever, for under that. That's high.
And they get a beer on tap. My sister told me it's $5 just for domestic beer.
That's normal right now.
$7 $10 for an import.
Dude, when
There
I
you
was
go.
going to bars back in my younger day, we was paying anywhere between $5 to $7 for a beer.
A 5-layer lasagna dinner,
Oh,
$10.79 or
See,
$10.75.
I told you we'd all be hungry soon.
The shrimp scampi is like $40. My wife can get, let's say you're paying $5-6 a pound for the shrimp. She can make that at home, because pasta's cheap still.
That's the one I like, the bad boy
I
sub.
made shrimp scampi for 3 grown men tonight, and it cost
I
me
want
about
a shrimp
$9.
po'
$9.
I want a shrimp po' boy.
Yeah, they don't have shrimp poor boys here. This is in
Really?
Ohio. I don't even think they have fish. Chicken is the closest you're getting.
I know up in Maine, the McDonald's up there, they have Pretty sure they've got a shrimp po' boy on the menu.
When's the last time you ate a fish stick, a real fish stick?
Years.
Probably the snook I brought home and cut it into little steaks and deep fried it. That's a real fish stick. Nothing you get in the
Well,
market.
now when my brother and his wife stayed here, they bought fish sticks. Okay, I thought, damn, I ain't had none of these in a long time. So I grabbed me a couple of handfuls, put them on the pan, throw them in the oven. You know, I got a couple of them out, put ketchup on it, took a bite, and threw it in the trash.
It was probably minced up.
Yeah.
That was fish.
You figure most fish sticks they make out of Alaskan pollock. Actually, the fish fillets they have at Lidl aren't really that bad.
I don't think a shark would have ate this.
You could have been eating shark, brother.
Trust me.
Shark is pretty good.
It is.
Yeah, it's real good.
Yeah.
What is it? Scallops? True shark?
I like the big scallops are too tough. The small ones are more tender.
Oh no, you got to cook them the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sea
There
scallops, big ones. Oh, Jim, you and I need to have a talk.
Probably the kind of scallops you can get around here. You can't. You figure you can get stuff in Florida you can't get around here.
Well,
Yeah, you
come
can go
down
out in the water and
and
get
I'll
them.
take you out to dinner and
Yeah.
show you sea scallops.
All the bigger scallops are tough. The baby scallops are much more tender.
Yeah,
I
that
won't.
one
real-
girl and guy that's was it 420 something or
Yeah.
they went down there
402.
and got scallops.
402.
Yeah, 402, and the water wasn't but 6 feet, 7 feet deep,
Yeah.
and they would scoot along the top until they seen them, and then scoot down there and pick them up.
Yeah. That's like Pasco County north of me.
And I've told my wife,
Lives up there, and they go out during scallop season, and you can see right down into the turtle grass from the boat. They'll take a pontoon boat out and make a party out of it. I think you can.
I think they were on a pontoon.
Were they?
Yeah.
And,
That girl is off
7
book.
feet.
Behave, Jeff.
And go down with
Dixie will get you.
a mesh bag.
Yeah,
You can all your scallops.
yeah.
you figure my wife likes to get the extra jumbo shrimp when they're on sale because it's less to clean. But I said, if you can get the large for the same price, why not? Because when you get the extra jumbo size, I got to cut them in half. They're so big.
What stores you getting them at, Jim?
Either Giant or ShopRite.
Okay.
I mean, we got Giant, ShopRite, Redner's, Weiss's, and some other. I mean, you got every kind of grocery. We got grocery stores galore around here.
You got an Acme out
Ooh.
that way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Walleye's good stuff.
Well, Walleye's excellent.
Fresh.
That's our grocery store.
How about leaving them up a little bit longer so I can read
Long
them?
time.
Oh, sorry. Well, it was where'd it go?
What is that? I need to buy some walleye fish.
I want grilled shrimp.
Oh, Jeff, man, you need to come
Yes.
down soon.
Hey, I can fix my own grilled shrimp. And I'm not talking about on no flat top. I'm talking about charcoal.
Yeah.
I went to a restaurant and I asked him, I said, y'all serve grilled shrimp? He said, yeah. I said, I want to order that. I'm sitting in the booth hearing him chop it up on a flat top. I get it. I look at it. In my mind, what the Sam hell is this shit? I take a bite of it. But you taste the onions, the spice. You don't taste no shrimp whatsoever in this thing.
Yeah.
I know off Grid World, Canadian prices are awful high. Actually, I went
If I do shrimp on the grill, I use a big wooden skewer or a metal
Yes,
skewer.
sir.
And I'll go shrimp, 2 scallops, and probably shrimp. And
Dude,
I'll marinate them on a cookie sheet that's got sides all the way around, same height all the way around. And I'll marinate them overnight. And believe it or not, what's really good, Blake turned me on to this stuff. It's called Kinders. They're spices.
Yeah.
And either believe it or not, steak seasoning
right.
on shrimp, lightly on shrimp. Don't overdo it. You let that marinate on there with some olive oil overnight and you flip them once. Oh, that's just killer on the grill. And then I taste them with the garlic butter during the cooking process.
Yeah. Here at Bushcraft Family, we never talk about food.
That's right. It's a sin.
Eric, I go one better than that. When I grill shrimp, I put 10 shrimp on the skewer.
Mm-hmm.
I'll cook it till it gets a little bit pink. Well, till it gets pink.
Right.
You got some small shrimp.
Oh, they're fishtail shrimp. Okay. And I'll bring it in the house and I'll start pulling them off of the skewer, dipping them, and then eating them.
Mm-hmm. One trick I learned is they don't have to be actual room temperature, but if they're close to room temperature, then they cook very fast and they cook evenly. So you're not really browning up the outside and it's what I find works the best.
Well, see, I've never had no grilled shrimp until my son-in-law done it at a cookout here.
Mm-hmm.
That was about 5 years ago. Dude, I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to one of them places where they throw the food at you?
No.
You mean a seafood market when you're buying fish?
No. Them Japanese guys go and then
yeah.
open your mouth.
My sister's birthday, January. We were at Japanese steakhouse.
I can just see Jeff.
Arigatos, I think it's called.
I'd get thrown out there because I'd be grabbing somebody else's food.
They'd be thrown at somebody else.
This guy was lightning fast. So.
You no longer here.
Yeah, Ziggy's great imitation crab meat. The same thing with imitation lobster. There's all kinds of bad stuff in that, I think.
You go away.
Imitation lobster. God almighty. I used to eat that stuff raw, just like mushrooms. Go in the grocery store, buy a pack of it, jump up in the truck, tear it open, and there's lunch.
Yeah.
But at least if you get, fish fillets, the breaded fish fillets like Lotto has, when you cut that open, you can see that that's real pollock in it. It's not all this guck added.
Well, come on. Before a person has a heart attack, they're going to indulge in a lot of food. But my main one was mushrooms, imitation shrimp, stuff like that. Radishes. I'm talking about go in the grocery store, buy a pack of mushrooms, imitation shrimp, and reach over there and get you a radish out of it. Jump up in the truck. That's what I'm eating for lunch. No cooking, no nothing. And I think that imitation shrimp tastes better raw than it does cooked. There ain't no taste to it.
I don't like that. Anything that's imitation.
No.
Well, like I said, that was before I had the heart attack. But after that, when a person goes through what I went through, and if you want to live a little bit longer, then you start taking care of yourself. I mean, it may be too late, but you try to take care of yourself from that point on.
Yeah.
and giving up sweet tea.
You better shut your mouth.
I don't like sour tea.
You know, if you leave tea hanging around too long, it can get toxic.
Yeah.
A lot of people at restaurants down here were getting sick back in the 80s because
Oh, I
everyone's,
can ask you something.
everyone's drinking sweet tea and
Dude.
they're not changing it out overnight, and
Right.
people are getting sick.
Yeah, remember that
Or
with
washing the
coffee.
metal pot.
The diners would leave the coffee in and just turn the pot on in the morning.
Yeah.
And
Now, used to, when I would go into a restaurant and order tea, they'd say the tea's up there. You have to get it yourself. I say, that's fine. I walk up there, I'll get just a wee bit of tea in a glass. If I can smell that tea, I pour it out and get another glass, and then I'll get me a soft drink. You know.
Is it safe to, Eric? I found a container in our closet I forgot about. I've Nestea iced tea mix that's over 10 years old. You think that's safe to use?
Nestea iced tea mix.
Yeah.
Do
The
they
powder?
still make it? They still make it?
Yeah, it's the powder kind.
Okay, but do they still make it? They still manufacture it?
They still make it, yeah.
Okay, how much is it?
It's like a whole container.
No, how
What
much
price?
is buying a new
It's probably double.
Okay, well, I wouldn't risk getting sick. I'd dump it.
So,
I know what you do.
yeah.
Hang it off the trees and see if it keeps the deer away. No, I'm not being smart. I'm not being smart. It might work.
You never know.
There's a story behind it. After my last dog passed away, I lost my interest in making iced tea. And I forgot it was in the closet.
Yeah.
You never know. Sprinkle it around the trees.
Yeah.
If you squeeze
What
the
is
container,
your,
you can
what
tell
is your
it's still
acreage
powdery.
plot, Jim? What is your acreage plot where your tree farm is?
Well, it depends on if you measure it from the middle of the road, it's 11.3. If you I mean 11.66, it's 11.3 from the road right away.
Just under 12 then.
Because we have 620 feet of road frontage. Because the property is like a rectangle, but then it gets wider in the back.
Did you ever price what it would cost to fence all that in?
I got an estimate back around 2006, $80,000.
I was going to say.
God.
Oh,
hell
My
yeah!
sister is thinking of putting.
oh, hold on. Penny, are you looking to adopt a kid?
30
Oh.
minutes Pacific Ocean.
Because of my nephew, my sister and her husband are thinking of spending the money to put a fence up around their 42-acre farm.
Whoa.
It's going to cost them almost $250,000, she's told me.
Penny, where you live at? I'll drive the boat for you.
30 minutes. I remember when I was in Eureka, California, and I learned a lot about different fish. I was going to keep one fish and one of the guys said, "Don't toss that thing away. Toss it away."
Yeah.
So I still don't know to this day what kind of fish it
Probably
was.
a sea lion.
I don't know.
Puffer. It was a puffer fish.
No, I know it wasn't that. But as soon as I would catch a good sized fish, that was my dinner for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I stayed in a tent, and right behind the spot where I had, because it was at a flea market, and you could stay there all night. You could live there all. There was other people there that had trailers and stuff, but I stayed in the tent, and right behind my tent, I had a little cook fire going, and I would grill up a fish about every day.
Back before I got licensed, we'd go down to the river and do a lot of fishing down there.
Yeah.
And I saw something on TV, how to cook a fish, in mud. So I tried it.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, it is. When you pull that top layer off, there is no scales whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no bone in it either. I mean, big bone. It pulls that top layer of mud. It pulls it all off.
I
Yeah.
can remember that was one of the best fish dinners when you're camping. And
Oh God, yes.
I forget who was carrying it, but it was probably somebody that was lower on the totem pole. But we gave him all the cast iron pans. We were hiking and we stopped. And
Okay. Oregon.
bunch of trout and
Oh,
I lived in Phoenix, Oregon.
see, the bad thing is, Eric, when we went down there, we had, I mean, we smoked. I had a lighter on me, period. We had no frying pan, no grease, no nothing. But I do remember seeing that a week before we went fishing. I tried it. Man, I wish I could do it again.
yeah.
I wouldn't eat fish out of the river now.
Around here, I wouldn't eat any fish out of the creeks because all the neighboring townships, their sewers leak, and it's cheaper for them to pay the fine to the DEP than to fix the sewers because they're so old.
If
That's
I'm
a
going
good
to
fish too.
fish out of a river, it's going to be straight up in the mountains, period. And I'd have to think twice about that. I got to know where it's coming from.
Between the Skippack Creek and the Schuylkill River, you figure the Schuylkill River is like so dirty. If you go up towards the mountains, I've heard the fish is pretty good, but not when you get down to this part of the state.
Jim, you got the Dead River swinging by you?
Well, we're not near the Schuylkill. Even the Skippack Creek is dirty.
Yeah. No, I mean the river it's called the Dead River. Dead River. Are you familiar with that?
No, where's that located?
It's it's central Jersey, but just in the PA.
That's north.
The Musconecon, right?
That's north of me then.
Right. But yeah, we fished that once, and that was loaded with trout. I don't know what the water quality is now, but
Because friends of mine that fish local around here, they say you gotta start right after it opens because most of the fish in the creek are stocked by the Pennsylvania Fish Commission.
yeah.
And he said if you wait too long, the fish probably aren't going to make it in these creeks.
What, because of the water quality?
Because of the water quality, the sewer system's leaking into the water. It's cheaper for the townships to pay the fine than to replace the sewer pipes that are like 20, 30 years old.
20, 30. Ours is over 100 years old in this town.
Holly has to go out now.
I didn't even know they had pipes back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Clay pipes, if I ain't mistaken.
No, they're cast iron pipes. They
Really?
1899 or 1898, I think they said. It's not in my area, but a couple blocks over. They've had to tear up the whole road and everything and replace all the pipes because it's so old. Once they try to fit something else into the older pipe, it just crumbles.
Down here they call that Orangeburg. That type of piping.
Come on, you ready to go out and go?
Yeah, I like bluegill too. It's just a pain because it's so small but you get a mess of them. They're good stuff.
See, bass, brim, crappie, a bluegill, and some catfish. I ain't talking about mudcat.
No.
I can't think of it.
I wouldn't even eat the catfish in our rivers nowadays.
No, but
Thank you, Penny. I appreciate that. I didn't hear no voices pop up though.
No.
But normally, what I just named off.
Welcome, the new member to the channel.
Oh, it showed the members though.
Yeah. But normally what I just named off is out of private ponds. Channel
Oh
cat.
yeah, that I would.
Hello, folks.
Well,
Let's welcome the new member to the channel.
TH2 got a membership too.
As long as they don't, the city don't come out and spray nothing in the fields, you're
Hello,
fine.
folks.
Yeah.
Let's welcome the new member to the channel.
I don't even think I've seen her.
Who's
Eva
that?
Marie.
Uh-uh.
It's been a while. If I had,
Eva Marie.
Ain't that Elvis's daughter?
no.
Hello,
Oh.
folks. Let's welcome the new member
Jeannie.
to the channel.
Oh, there it is. Again, thank you, Penny. I really appreciate it.
Hello, folks. Let's
Oh.
welcome.
Oh,
the
Jennifer
new
got
member
one.
to the channel.
I didn't get to see who it all was either. Oh, there it is over here.
I would donate something, but I don't think it will take 59 cents.
Yeah, I think you have to do $1 at least.
Well, that ain't nothing. Come next payday, I'm still going to be owing somebody.
Now on Twitch, you can buy biddies and they're a penny a piece. Well, they used to be. I don't know what they are now.
Biddies.
Yeah, they're the little. It's a digital thing, but I got real excited. Somebody donated 1,000 biddies. I'm like, woo! I was all excited. Well, I was still excited because it was, $10, but still, it was like, what? 1,000? And I was like, this is a gimmick, isn't it? There's no way somebody. And when I said $1,000, they said, no, that's 1,000 biddies. I said, well, how much is a biddy? And he said, a penny. I'm like, oh.
My wife was talking to her pocketbook today to go out and try to find some money. And I said, don't you come back unless you got $500 $100 bills in there. Pocketbook just sat there. It wouldn't do nothing.
I want to tell you guys a story about farms in this area. When I was a kid growing up, I grew up in Worcester Township. There was a family by the name of Hebner, but during the time of the Revolutionary War, the Hebner family owned almost every acre of ground in Worcester Township. And over time, most of these farms got sold off. About 20 years ago, Sherman Hebner died. He grew really good crops. They grew potatoes. They had areas where it was like over a foot of topsoil. Well, the former CEO of Comcast lives in this area. He passed away a few years ago. They bought the Hebner farm, and they were going to grow all this organic food. And you know what they did because of the deer? They put up one of these 7-foot high vinyl fences. You know what happened and it was guaranteed to be like sun resistant. You know what happened after a few years? The bucks tore the fence apart and they had to take the thing down. And they did this on a good chunk of 200 acres. Can you even believe somebody would fall for that? What happens to plastic when it's out in the sun?
Oh yeah, it becomes brittle.
Uh-huh.
Because I had to laugh one day when I drove by there and saw all these tears in this fence. I'm thinking, they spent a fortune on the thing.
Thank you, Tammy. And say happy birthday to your son.
When I took Holly out, I heard sirens. Probably an accident somewhere.
That's where you need a 14-foot chain link fence.
I had a job doing that too. Chain link fence, installing it.
I hate them.
That's a gimmick. The chain link fence is real easy.
Yeah.
Now, Bob wire, that's another story.
Unless you're doing it by yourself.
Well, even by yourself, it's not too bad. Because as long the only time you have to dig holes is the corners.
Shit.
Because the other ones, the other poles get pounded in.
You got to use metal stakes. Actually, we did that around the one property in 1985, and actually back in 1989, my sister and her husband, they spent the money. It was cost shared by the game commission. They put up a 5-foot high electric fence, and they were told to keep the deer out. The next day, they saw deer jumping over the fence.
Now, ain't that just like a deer put something up to keep them out and they jumping in it? But if you don't put nothing up, you won't see no deer.
Well, there's a farm. There's a big tree farm. I think it's in Virginia or West Virginia. I forget the name of it.
Thank you, sister in Christ.
They put a fence up that says high voltage. To keep the deer out, you need a fence that's going to have more of a shock. You figure if we touched an electric game commission fence, we'd be knocked on our rear end. But that doesn't even phase the deer. They need a much higher voltage.
They're insulated.
That 1/4-inch leather hide they have insulates them.
Dude, when I was a young and about 8 or 9 years old, the landlord had an electric fence to keep his cows in. And when my dog would be close to me, I'd reach down, grab the dog's tail, then grab the electric fence. That dog hated me. And I got mama like that a couple of times until she tore my tail up. Grab a fence and then grab her. Mama told my wife I was a mean brat when I was coming up.
And the thing is, if you put a fence up in Pennsylvania higher than township ordinance, anybody can see it in the neighborhood, and the courts are going to decide with the neighbor because there's legal precedent. Any fence higher than a township ordinance can be declared a public nuisance.
Yeah.
Even if it's a chain link fence.
Any kind of fence, unless it's like, okay, the only exemptions would be like Willow Grove Naval Air Station. They have an 8-foot high chain link fence around that whole establishment. And the game wardens have told me deer have gotten stuck on the top of that fence on the razor wire over the chain link. Can you imagine that? Deer getting stuck on top of the chain link fence.
Yeah, they can get up there.
And the whole reason this has happened is because it's the liberal mindset. There's not enough people hunting. You figure most of Pennsylvania, there's areas where there's hardly any deer at all. They've been overhunted. And then you get down to like Montgomery County, where I'm at, Bucks County, Chester County, Berks County, Delaware County is even worse. Actually, in Delaware County, the average size buck is only 120 pounds.
That's going to change here a little bit.
Yeah, like the people down in Oklahoma. Sorry for those people down there, but I got a big buck. Looks like a little dog.
Yeah, really.
Like up in Ohio, those are deer.
Now we got some pretty good sized deer here also, but I think the biggest one I've seen a picture of is a mule deer from up in the Midwest.
Oh, those the elks and stuff. Yeah.
They're about the size of an elk, seems like.
Yeah.
I mean, around here, it's all white-tailed deer. I mean, the biggest one I got this year, it took the game warden, the cadet in training that's a deputy, so he could, enforce the laws with the game warden. It took 3 of us to get this thing on the deer carrier. The neck on the thing, if you measured it sideways, from the front to the back was about 12 inches.
That's what we got down here is whitetail. God, I can't quit on it.
Yeah, just ask the people who run into them things how big the deer are up here.
About 25 years ago, my sister hit a deer in her Volvo. She hit the front of the deer, It cracked the block.
I hit a vulture in my car, and he looked at me like, "You're next."
And the deer ran off. The radiator got pushed into the engine.
Oof.
In an old Volvo station wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I never hunted was elk. I'd like to hunt an elk one day.
You got to quarter those things. One of my friends that works for USDA Wildlife Services, he went out somewhere. I don't know if it was Colorado. He said he had to pay more to get the elk out than what it was worth for the meat.
Oh yeah, you're not just gonna pick it up and carry it on your back. You got multiple trips.
I want to go to Alaska. There's an island up there that ain't got nothing but black bear on it. I want to hunt one.
If I was living in Alaska, I would carry an M1 instead of an A7.
I don't know. If I'm up in Alaska and them polar bears is out there, I want a bazooka.
Well, you figure an M1, a 30 caliber, 30-06 jump, that's going to take anything down with the right shot placement.
Yeah, but I've never shot a bear. I wouldn't know where to hit them at unless it's in the brain.
There was
You won't get nowhere with that unless you have a really big caliber, because they got thick skulls.
some grandmother killed a bear with a 22. She hit it in the temple. Can you believe that? With a 22 long.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. But there was a guy telling me years and years ago that you could not kill a bear with a bow and arrow. I stopped the car and I asked him, and right in the middle of the damn road, I asked him, how in the hell did the damn Indians kill bear, have bear meat and stuff
They
like
did
that?
it by hand.
If you shoot one if you hit one right in the neck, you could probably kill it.
I thought you were gonna say something.
Yeah, but they don't. They run like this.
If they're standing up on their hind legs, doing that. Because I've talked to the game. My friend who works for the USDA Wildlife Services, actually, the manure guy goes bear hunting most years in Maine, and they get caught in a trap, and he finishes them off. He said, just aim for the neck.
Mm.
Hey, Bush, I'm going to get going.
Yeah, I'm going to end it here. We got 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of feeling the effects of whatever it is I got. So
Yeah,
it's very nice to see everyone tonight and everyone in chat. And
Eric,
hopefully I'll be around a lot longer.
I'm glad you got to talk to me also.
Yeah, buddy. Just stay out of trouble, Jeff and Jim. Keep them iron sights clean, man. We want clean.
Red dot scope. I don't even need the red dot on.
All right, folks. God bless.
Take it easy.
catch you later, Eric.
Bye, Charles.
Get you some rest.
And don't forget, the second dawn's going to be on tomorrow night. We'll probably be there.
You mean Sunday?
Okay.
Unless he went ahead and set it up already.
That don't make no difference if he set it up or not.
Yeah, I know.
He has changed them at the last minute.
I don't see no truck yet, so yeah. Oh, I do see a fish that somebody caught. Oh, that looks.
On 101's channel?
No,
Oh.
A fish would probably about a 3-inch bluegill would pull him in the water with him.
Bush, I want to go up there and grab him and take him fishing one time. And I want to have cameras, his reactions.
Make sure he doesn't carry.
Well, I'd have to tie him off to his truck.
I could just see him getting upset about the fishing pole or the fish got away.
He might shoot the fish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at least
yeah.
try to.
I don't know. Bullets don't go straight when they hit the water for some odd reason.
Well, it's because.
I know.
Well, have you bow fished before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then you already know. You don't aim at the fish.
You kind of aim a little.
It's
I can't remember if you aim a little bit before them or a little bit after them.
well, it's above or below. It's usually below, depending where the sun's at.
Like I said, where I went bow fishing at was at the dam. And it was a certain time of year after we had a lot of rain. It was about 50 fish right there. You can just shoot your bow down in there and get one. But reeling them in, wire you out. It was about a 20, 30-foot drop.
I would just get a big net.
You couldn't.
That's
What was
there's
that?
there's usually laws against that.
I'm saying, say there was a situation where it was every man for themselves.
Oh,
I would just get in the creek and with a net.
Only if you get caught.
yeah.
Situation like that, I don't think anybody's going to be out, enforcing the fish laws.
Yeah, in this area, you would be surprised. I swear to you. It's like you'd be on a back road somewhere and you say, let's see what this car can do. And when you get into it, for some reason, you swear up down that cop was hiding in your trunk. Oh, there he is.
Sometimes you'd be surprised. They're just like, there's nobody around, and then you think, well, I can put this other pole out, and then they're there.
Yeah. Oh, we seen you through the binoculars sitting way over yonder.
Yeah.
Now, I did have a game warden tell me that. Me or the wife, either one had fishing license. We got caught.
Thank you, Penny. Again, thank you for the super chat, or I mean the whatever them things are called.
Oh, me, I quit doing dynamite fishing. I go grenade fishing now.
You have a good night.
Dana, you ought to come on up here and let's do some fishing. No fishing pole required.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, and I'll probably see everybody Sunday when I'm on Vineyard Chicks, but probably won't be on until Tuesday. Oh no, me and Jeff are going to do that thing on Monday, so we'll see you Monday.
Yeah.
What are you doing on Monday?
The second part of the
Giveaway?
No.
Martial law.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good show where you were interviewed the other night.
Oh, me when I was being interviewed? Yeah.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
It was.
She has some good interviews with other people too.
And she's got a big channel having over 90,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you guys, everybody have a good night, and we'll catch you Monday, I guess, or Sunday. Yeah. See everybody Sunday on the Vineyard Chicks. God bless.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah. Thank you.